welcome to Rantz, part of the Tottenham Hotspur Supplement, or Tottenham Supplement, because we might get sued if we use the word Hotspur. I am Shubhan, and also known as Noshad, and I'm here with the skip, who goes by the name Crisandro, or you can find him at Man Like Chris on Twitter.
That's me. Hello, everyone.
Yeah. So how was the Watford gap?
There was indeed a gap, but it's not what you might think. It looked like Watford were the side that were the team pushing for Europe and for the title, whereas we were trying to stave off relegation. It was that embarrassing. And
it's like Brighton again, basically. If you asked a stranger which team was in the Champions League last year,
exactly, and they'll be hard pushed to even think of the odds of watching that game. Oh, and this is the thing, wasn't it? What, a couple of weeks ago that this same Watford side got absolutely annihilated 8-0 by Manchester City, and and we couldn't even master a single shot on goal against them until Sonny came on. It's
a weird thing though, because Sonny, it's about unlucky really. Obviously, he was playing in South Korea or North Korea for the Korean derby, and literally he played in a stadium which probably had more atmosphere than what we had on Saturday.
Pretty much true, yeah. But yeah, and he even travelled all that way there and came back, and I was kind of surprised he was benched, but I suppose I can kind of understand why. But as soon as he came on,
16-hour flight, something like that.
Yeah, about that, yeah, and which would kind of make a bit of a mockery of Aurier starting then, because yeah, he had just as long, well, not as long a flight, but he played on the Friday. Was it Friday? The Thursday, something along those lines. But he played quite recently. I thought he would have been rested. I wish he was rested, but anyway.
It wasn't that bad, actually. I mean, even Danny Rose is getting real pelters. But if you look at that, it's a very good cross by Janmaat. It's a superb cross by Janmaat.
Well, he really misjudged it, though, didn't he, Danny Rose?
He really misjudged it, but it wasn't like he went like, whoa, massively over, and like Janmaat had acres of space. And then once that ball leaves Janmaat's foot, it's up to the centre halves to then say, where are our runners coming in? Where are we exposed? And they then make a decision. But they clearly failed in that perspective. But if you look at our defence is probably one of the more older defences.
It's certainly showing now, isn't it?
It's just showing. The age is showing. I mean, like, obviously Jan Vertonghen, who's normally against Jadon Sancho last season, he was just magnificent at left back. But for me personally, I'm thinking maybe if we bring the back three and just have, I don't know, maybe, what's his name? What's that guy called? Play like Foyth, Sanchez, and
Tanganga?
No, Davis in a three.
Davis. Okay.
Yeah, and play Jan at left back and Toby at right back. No, because I'm just saying that they clearly have like wands of foot. They're both their predominant foot. They're very good at passing the ball. They've got better crosses than say probably Aurier or Danny Rose. And I'm just saying, like, not playing like Santini style, but in essence saying, look, we need to have solid defenders there. Yeah, we're again exposed. We need to have solid defenders there, which we don't have right now. And we clearly do not have solid defenders. I mean, Danny Rose, he almost went to Watford. That was a strange thing, wasn't it? He almost went to Watford at the beginning of the season.
Oh yeah, apparently that wasn't true. But then again, I'm not quite sure what is true and what isn't anymore. I know he was.
Luckily, Amazon will tell us.
But I know he was close to leaving, and he had one foot out the door. But where he was going, I have no idea.
Maybe he thought he was saying. Maybe they said that you're going to the Watford Gap, and then you're going past Watford Gap Junction or something. Maybe he thought he was going up north, and he goes, "Yeah, you're going past Watford Gap or something."
Yeah, working in Watford Gap, yeah.
I remember one time we were stuck in Watford for bloody ages. I came back down from Manchester Piccadilly back to Euston, and it took me, and we were stuck in Watford Gap for bloody ages. It seemed like an eternity. And there were these people that had literally come from up north to go into London, and I'm thinking, wait, you've come on a train for 2.5 hours to go out clubbing in London, and then what? You're going to hang around and literally sleep on the train on the way back? They're like, yeah. I was like, okay. Didn't want to say that really.
That was dedication to the clubbing scene, I guess.
I guess so. It's not really my thing, but you know, whatever floats your boat, I guess.
Yeah, but yeah, but it kind of makes a bit of a mockery of our defence. There, I mean, our defence is. I'll put it. It's. I kind of lost. I'm lost for the words. Really, I'm just stuck right now this morning.
I think. Do you know what? It's his thing, right? I remember reading an interview with Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan's been training since he was like 8 or 9 years old, and he said, "Look, there are certain things now I can't do these movements. Before I could do it, and my mind can tell me I can do this movement. My body just is just one step behind. I mean, like one of my favorite wrestlers is a guy called Eddie Guerrero, and he had this real bad heart condition, and he didn't know about it at the time. And so while his mind was thinking, executing X, Y, Z, his body was one step behind. So it wasn't his mind wasn't shut. They were saying like you're ahead in the game. It wasn't that. His body was 2 steps behind his mind. You know, and then that happens invariably as you do age.
Yeah,
you can't do certain things. You won't react as quickly. Certain things, yeah, you take for granted, but they're just that little difference. And at this high level, you know, but to Corey, I mean, I thought he was pretty solid. He was someone we were linked with for years. You know, when Musa was, especially when Musa was around anyway, as like a power. And he's someone I can imagine he'll end up at Paris Saint-Germain. He's just a good, solid player, perhaps stronger than Ox. And that little mix-up between Dele Alli and Harry Winks, that was hilarious. That really was. Obviously, he's not a big forward, but you know what I mean? That would be, you know, him literally like bulldozing his way through between 2 players who are England colleagues, not just club colleagues. These are England colleagues, and they weren't on the same page.
Yeah. It's part of the course, though, isn't it?
I don't know. I mean, obviously, everything's good because apparently Pochettino has been invited out to dinner with all the players.
Yeah,
so everything clearly is. So I don't know. I mean, for me personally, I mean, I don't think Aurier was terrible. You know, from what I saw, limitedly. But I mean, Danny Rose, it's a weird one. Danny Rose. I think he's a player that's basically. Do you know when you have an injury like the way he had, kind of thing?
Yeah.
Eventually, I mean, it happens to the best of us. Sandro had that injury. Ledley King, obviously, famously had that injury. You know, you have an injury like that. I had that in my knee. I mean, I can't do certain movements in my knee. I can't do certain. I'm limited in what I can do with my legs.
Yeah.
Just because of my knee, and I know that. So I try to avoid them as much as I can. And I think ultimately injuries will do it to you. It's not a nice thing to happen. Ironically, it happened at Sunderland, actually, wasn't it? Which is where he was on loan, wasn't he? But
yeah,
it happened at Sunderland. He had that injury, and unfortunately, his body's never been the same again. He was out for a year, wasn't he? If memory serves.
About that, yeah.
He's lucky to even be playing again. Really, I mean, like Sandro. I mean, Sandro's one of my favourite players. I mean, I think of all. I mean, in terms of like when I first got my shirts, Sandro. I mean, I adored Sandro. I mean, I got it. He the guy was bonkers, you know what I mean? But that game against Milan, he was like Spider-Man. He was everywhere. He was just incredible. And he was in such a good place as a player that when Mancini famously tried to tap him up, saying, "Do you know what? I want you to come to Man City. I want you to help me win the league."
Yeah.
And he was like, no. I want to actually win it with Tottenham. I can win it with Tottenham. And I think there was, because I don't know, because I was watching, have you heard about, you're familiar with Atalanta, right?
Say again, sorry?
Familiar with Atalanta?
Atalanta, yep.
Atalanta have been a team, like, literally, it's really weird. Like, I actually asked them, they were 3-0 up yesterday, and they really asked Spurs it. They managed to draw, they were 3-0 up away at Lazio, and then Lazio drew it back to 3-all, which is, that isn't Spurs, I don't know what is. But, I actually asked like one of the guys, James Horncastle. I said, like, how the hell have they not been plundered over these years? You know, well, they have been, but basically they reinvested all the profits back into the team. So when they've had and they've made huge profits, and plus they've had players that did stay. They wanted to see it out. I think now we've got players that just don't want to see it out anymore. We haven't been successful in our player trading as much as we'd like to have been. And players that have seen them, I think when you got to the Champions League final, that's a pinnacle. You know, either winning the league or getting the Champions League final. We've almost won the league. We've almost won the Champions League.
Yeah.
That's the two highest honours any domestic football. Once you've been there and you've got so close and it hasn't happened, you just think, well, how much more is there left to give? And there's probably these players don't have any more give, which I think Pochettino has recognised, and we've gone from being second to third to fourth, and who knows? I don't mind it being fifth or
It
sixth.
could have gone one of two ways, couldn't it?
It could have done. I mean, if you look at Liverpool barely scraped into fourth in that year. They got to the final, but then they went fourth second because they made one critical investment in their goalkeeper, and that critical investment in their goalkeeper saw them going from fourth to second, obviously. And it wasn't just that. You had Trent Alexander-Arnold coming through. That obviously helped them out a massive amount. And and you can't budget for that. You can't, good players coming through. You can kind of hope they'll come through, but you can't really plan for it. The way you can was, like, say, a player signing. Obviously, that then liberated, what's Alex Robertson? That's his name. Andy Robertson. Is that his name? Andy Robertson?
Yeah.
And Alex, I went to school. I got confused. I actually went to school with a guy who was Scottish, whose name was Alex Robertson. So that's the reason why I got them confused. But I'm just saying that because if you look at their midfield, I mean, that Liverpool midfield isn't anything special. Not really. But what they've done is they've got a solid defence. You're not going to be able to get a goal past them. And eventually, via attrition, they're just going to get that one goal, which is all they need. And then obviously one goal can lead to 2, to 3, to 4, to 5. Because they can obviously, once you have to, then you have to open up, and then they've got that speed on that break. It's a very simple model, and it works very, very well. And it's interesting how they do against City, because obviously City in De Bruyne, is it De Bruyne or De Bruyne? How do you say that?
De Bruyne.
Bruyne.
Yeah,
so
De Bruyne.
I'm sorry, but he's like one of, for me, how that lad has not been a contender for the Ballon d'Or, I don't know, because I know he's been injured a lot, but he's just such a gifted player.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Yeah. Obviously, Jose must absolutely adore him, obviously. But, he's just such a gifted player. And, I mean, you saw what he did against us. I mean, literally, it reminds me, as the highest honor I can give him. I remember when we played United and we actually finally beat them at Old Trafford. Paul Scholes was absolutely murdering us. When he got the ball, his pass was absolutely just destroying us. And that's what De Bruyne did. De Bruyne, Kevin.
De Bruyne, yep.
Kevin. See, I can't say Kevin. When I say Kevin, I think Kevin the teenager.
The Harry Enfield character, you mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, he's still got his boyish looks, hasn't he? I mean, he must be nearly his mid-20s, and he still looks like a teenager anyway, doesn't he, De Bruyne?
Yeah, he is quite a young-looking chap, but I just don't know. I can't call him Kevin now, because I prefer for anyone called Kevin now, because whenever I think Kevin the teenager. honestly, I can imagine. Do you know they do like polls when they think like, what's the most popular name that year or something?
Yeah.
Well, baby is that name, but I can imagine like the name Kevin when Kevin the teenager came out. Anyone that they were going to have a baby, I thought, I ain't going to call my kid Kevin right now. Screw that.
Ruined the name for a generation.
It has. Oh, come on, it's like Frank. You hear the name Frank, you think Spencer. I do, anyway. That's just my generation. I wouldn't.
For all our older fans, yep.
What do you mean older fans? I ain't that old.
Hey, I remember playing Spencer when I was a kid, so I must say something.
Yeah, but you're older than I am, so that's hard. It's hard to make it. Wait,
yeah,
are you trying to make yourself sound younger than me? You're actually. Bear in mind,
I'm younger at heart.
Chris is definitely younger at heart, because I'm like, I'm actually as we speak, I'm actually as we Skype, I'm actually doing the ironing. And maybe I'm older. Maybe I'm older before my time then.
No, almost a Robbie Williams song there, but that's all good. But
Robbie Williams, eh? But good morning. Anyway, but no, I don't know. In terms of aging, I mean, like, I think Jan Vertonghen. I mean, I can understand why no one. People say like, "I was surprised no one came from Toby Alderweireld." Well, surprised now. If you look at him, it's like, who would have come in for him now? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like Jan Vertonghen, like no one's gonna. I think both of them will. I think Jan Vertonghen will go to Italy. I think he's not Jan Vertonghen, Toby Alderweireld. He's still young enough to go to Italy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do something there, but I think something like Jan Vertonghen, I can imagine him going back to Ajax, you know? Probably
Mm.
saying, sorry, by the way, it should have been you in the European Cup final, but sorry, we nicked it from you, but still. But no, but I just think I think radical. I mean, obviously Lo Celso, he's fully fit now, and hopefully he will be fully fit. I don't think he'll start on Tuesday. Bit of a half game to start him on, but when are you going to start him? You can't start him against Liverpool either. That's a bit hot. That's a bit unfair in Anfield. By the way,
Baptism of fire as well.
Enjoy your trip up there, by the way.
So again?
Enjoy your trip up to Anfield, by the way.
I'm going to Anfield, yes.
Enjoy it. Yeah.
Oh, that's I don't have the words at all this morning. I think it's literally I just want to go there and just be ambivalent towards it. I mean,
like the thing is, this is difference, right? When I go up to like for an away trip up north, I'll try and find a jiu-jitsu gym to train at. So the day of the Everton game, like the day before, I went training with my friends in Stockport. And then Stockport to Everton is only about an hour's drive. And then I found a club to train in the morning of before the Everton game. And actually, one of the guys, my mate of mine, Brawley, he's a big Everton fan. I was actually watching the game yesterday.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm not saying I'm an Everton fan, but I have like fondness for the club, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think everyone watched that video. You love Everton. Yeah,
I don't love Everton, but I do have a fondness for them. And he was like, Anthony, he goes, I said to him, honestly, because I was actually, I have a running joke with him that basically Everton players hate my sofa. I keep punching the sofa every time they do something stupid. So I said, I think they got a secret deal with DFS. So I end up having to buy new furniture or something. And I said to him, I was watching the game yesterday, and I said, you know what? I actually screamed when Gylfi Sigurdsson scored the winner, like not the winner, but the goal that confirmed the result.
Yeah.
And I said to him, clearly, do you know what I mean? Like, clearly Ian was like much more reserved. Apparently, he screamed so loudly, the cat ran away.
Okay.
So yeah, I kept thinking, but I mean, obviously, when you go to Liverpool, I mean, I don't know, I mean, it's a Sunday game, right? So you could go to the docks and stuff like that, go to the, I don't know, anything to do with the Beatles, because obviously Liverpool they don't like talking about the Beatles at all up in Liverpool ever, do they?
There's like a massive museum dedicated to the Beatles or anything like that. It's very low key about it.
They're very blasé about the, you know. And I'm trying. Here's the funny thing is, do you know what? I was watching this program this morning, like it was Unpopular Opinions, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Here's my unpopular opinion. I ain't a big fan of the Beatles. I mean, I like some of their songs, but I would really struggle to say like, oh, I've listened to Sgt. Pepper's album or something, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my unpopular opinions. I'm not a big Beatles fan. I'm not a big, you know, I ain't a big music fan in general. I was going to say, I don't know if you ever see this or not, but there was a thing on social media. I'm going to give a shout out to my friends in Austin Spurs, Pochtoberfest. And I'm just wondering, the reason I bring it up is that they're hoping to do this every single year, like Pochtoberfest. Do you think he'll be here next October, next Pochtober even?
Well, Pochettino, hard to say now. I mean, it just seems to be one bad performance after another. Although
that's something you could imagine yourself thinking even last year.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's incredible how quick. I mean, how quick. I mean, if people say like he's earned like currency, like capital in the bank, and he has done. If you look at Mourinho. Mourinho had won the league title for Chelsea.
Yeah, that's true.
And so, can you get more capital than winning the league title? And yet his players, whatever reason, apparently he had a very bad transfer window. I don't think they brought anyone in. This preseason didn't go great, and they just never recovered, and they literally just down tools.
Yeah.
And it's a strange one because it's a weird one though. So it's not as if people will say, "Leave to get your checkbook out." I'm trying to think. Can you think of any signings that have really killed it this year?
What for either club?
Yeah, for any club. I mean, like Man City, they signed. The only player they signed was Rodri. Okay, and do you know what? I keep thinking he should be Welsh with a name like Rodri, but he isn't.
Rodri.
Rodri from Aberystwyth.
Yeah,
From Nice. He's from Nice. He's Rodri. Rodri's from Nice. He is. But but apart from his
yeah,
top
yeah. I think he's probably made more mistakes than he has done anything else for Man City at the moment.
he hasn't really killed it, has he? I mean, obviously they haven't got support and they haven't got company, and they've severely, they've obviously they're not as strong as they were last year.
Yeah.
Having company and stuff like that. It's weird when you don't have company, isn't it? I miss a bit of company, but give the pun. I'm saying that they haven't really. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, Eden Hazard went for 130 million to Real Madrid. He's actually went though. He was overweight apparently, and he hasn't really done that well for them.
True.
And so I'm just thinking, like people say, "Oh, sign them up or pay them what they want." It's like my friend says, my friend Jay from Last One in Spurs. If you ever get a chance to check out, I love Jason McGovern. Huge fan of him. And, he's always talking about like you should pay them what they want. If we pay Ted what we want, okay, whatever he wanted, we'd have a player now who's basically no one wants. No players come in for Toby. No club has come in for him. And I think it's kind of a weird situation because we've got players that nobody seems to want. I mean, nobody seems to want Eriksen either. You've got Real Madrid who want Eriksen, but Zidane clearly doesn't want Eriksen. You've got Pogba. I think Pogba's injured today. He's not playing today. He won't play this today. But again, he's paid like ridiculous amounts. But if someone said to you, you could have Pogba, say to 2015, you were told from 2016 onwards, you'd have either Pogba or Dele Alli. Who would you would say, oh shit, I want Pogba. I want Pogba dead easily. But
yeah,
but if you look at Pogba, he hasn't really. I mean, he's one of those players that he's such a brilliant player. He's got everything. He's got the physique. He's played in Italy, so he's very tactically aware. You hope he would be.
Yeah.
Yeah. He hasn't really lifted top trees. You can't think, oh, this is a team that Man United's going to build their team around him and do everything they want. They haven't. Obviously, Mourinho never built a team around him. And Mourinho was happy to build his team around Lampard. If you've got Lampard and Drogba, if he has players that he knows will follow his command, who he thinks are talented, he will build a team around them.
That's true.
And for whatever reason, Lampard's nowhere near the player that Pogba could be. Even Lampard is best, but Pogba, he should be such a brilliant player, but for some reason he isn't. So I don't know what the answer is. I mean, even signings. I mean, I've gone with the thought of playing like Davies, Boyd, and Sanchez at and just literally using literally not as in like flying fullbacks the way that people tend to think of the pot system, but using them as more their distribution. Just say, look, be like a quarterback or whatever you want to call that. Literally look to spread the play. So you have to have like players like Ndombele and whatever and hopefully because like Lucas Moura. I mean, I love Lucas Moura. I think he seems such a lovely young man. And obviously the images of him playing with his son on the pitch against Huddersfield. Yeah. They're very warm memories. But there's a reason why that PSG let him go. He had that brilliant game for Brazil, but he's never really kicked on. Even at PSG, would you say he really lifted trees at Brazil at PSG?
No, true. It's true.
And do you remember when I think the Brazil squad picked him? Because I just think they picked him because he was there. Do you know that? Because he's not. He's like the Brazil. There's like they probably sort of like, oh yeah, Lucas. Oh yeah, you're Brazilian. Yeah, why don't you just join in, mate? Yeah. Because he hasn't been in any Brazil squad since then. So I think he's a very good impact sub, but he's not going to be the kind of player that he'll always flatter to deceive, kind of thing. He's a good player, but he just hasn't got that thing that takes you actually being a good player to being a good player to being a very good to even being a great player. He hasn't got that quality, I don't think.
It's kind of hard to say, really. I mean, he hasn't had that many starts, and most of his time with us has been off the bench.
Well, he does get something. Against Fulham, I remember a couple of times he had guilt-edged chances, and he take them. But then against, say, Ajax, famously, obviously, and in like some of the movement, like he did some proper, like some. I think But I think he was either the first or the second goal. I mean, some of the quick feet he showed, and I'm like thinking, this guy, he could be like that. That was like Romario level feet kind of thing, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
Obviously, I'm not going to say he's like Romario. He's not. He's nowhere near the player Romario was. But I'm saying, if you look at the kind of, the quick slaloming feet that he showed, that's something that Romario would do. That was his stock in trade. And yet he didn't show that. He doesn't show that consistently enough. For whatever reason, I don't know. I mean, for me, like, Sonny played well. I think our team's got to be built around, say, Sonny and Kane. And that's what I've always said. I think we've got to figure out how best we can get the best out of those two guys, because they will get us our goals. Dele Alli was playing okay yesterday. I mean, Ericsson, I don't know. It's a weird one of Ericsson. I mean, Lamella played okay yesterday, I thought, when he came on. But I just don't know how. I mean, I don't know. I mean, how would you play it? I mean, if you were going to, I mean, if say you're using a back three, so and then you've got, like, say, Jan and Toby as being like playing fullbacks as they do for their country. More like fullbacks, just trying to open up the pitch. You've got Dele Alli, but then who would you play in that midfield? Because you've got, like, there's no one really, is there? There's like probably Winks, who didn't have a good game yesterday. Yeah. And Ombele, who's for some reason after half an hour gets really tired.
That's true.
So it's a bit of a weird situation. Something just doesn't fit right. I don't know what it is, but I don't know. It's not as if, like, like with Conte, he just said, you know what? I'm playing a back four, it's not working, I'm going to go to a back three. And it worked for him. And obviously he had Kante, who could play in every position, playing two places at once almost.
Yeah.
He had Costa, who you hadn't managed to piss off, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I just don't know what it is. I mean, I don't know what the answer is. I don't think there's a real easy answer. I mean, Lo Celso, I do think, Lamella was playing, it's a weird one, because Lamella was picked for Argentina for the squad. He was on the bench, but he never played. I mean, I like Lamella, but I don't think, realistically, if we had got, say, what's his name? I don't think we're going to get Dybala now. But if we got Dybala, I think that should have started. I think he's actually doing quite well for Juventus right now.
Yeah.
But I think Lo Celso could be that player that we need to come forward. I mean, I think we can get Lo Celso and Sessegnon fit. I mean, when do you reckon they'll be fit? I mean, what's our first game after Liverpool? Is it Olympiacos, probably, maybe? Or I can't remember the game we have after Liverpool.
It will be...
Wow, it's another international break, isn't it?
No, it won't be another international break. No, it's, I'm sure just a week off, and then we've got Everton.
So it's Everton. So I actually would play. I'm hoping that I would target Lo Celso and those Lo Celso and Sessegnon to come back for those two games. Hopefully because I think that can make the difference, because we are clearly weak down we're very predictable, because I mean, for some reason, Danny Rose as a winger, I've said this so many times, he can't cross the ball. How the hell was this guy ever a winger?
Yeah.
He can't cross the ball. He just cannot. I'm not saying like a Bale cross or whatever, but the technique is just isn't there. We ever got, obviously there's a very famous video of me watching a match, and I would say famous. It's more like Chris just took the piss out of me for ages for it, and it's like Ericsson every time he has a go, just be the first man, be the first man, be the first man. Bam.
Yeah, the Newcastle game last year.
Yeah, be the first man, be the first man. Oh, be the first man. Oh.
It wasn't me that took the mick out of you. It was actually one of our viewers.
Well, yeah, but you're the one that, wasn't it? I can't remember. I remember you seem to find great amusement out of me saying, "I'll just beat the person." Oh. I just think Lo Celso, I mean, you saw what he did for Betis. I don't know. I'm not saying he could have that effect for us, but he's clearly someone that Potter's targeted. He's got that combination of that. Because I think at PSG, for some reason, they used to play him as a 6. I don't know why you'd play him as a 6. He's not a 6 player, But I think as an 8, as someone who's progressed the ball going forward, I think ultimately, I think it would be him and Ndombele. And I think Winks would be someone that could actually suffer as a result, actually, I think. Purely because unless he steps up his game, because he's very good at recycling possession, but you've got to do more than that nowadays. You have to have that kind of like, it's not enough to be Michael Carrick. You have to be, even Michael Carrick would like, his sheer volume of passes going forward was, and there's no way that Winks had those numbers.
Yeah.
And it's all good recycling possession, but you've got to do more than just recycle possession. Either you keep that ball constantly moving, they can't. You just move that ball. If you want to be in that kind of pass recycler, you've got to be hitting at least 200 passes a game or something.
Yeah.
For that to have to be like it says, oh my God, you need him in the team because he keeps the ball constantly moving. He's such a good passing hub. He's at that give and go. But he isn't that player yet. Or yesterday he had one of. I don't know. He's from Hempstead or something. Maybe they got to him or something. I don't know. Maybe they threatened his parents. Maybe the Watford mafia said, you know what, we're gonna, we're gonna. I know, seriously, they could have, there's always been beef between, they could have been some strange meeting in Boreham Wood, and any international listener, what the hell's fucking Boreham Wood? Do you know what I mean? It's just north of Watford, by the way, for those you don't know, but still. I don't know. I mean, in terms of like, if you're looking at say that Champions League game against that Red Star, was it Tuesday or Wednesday that game against Red Star Belgrade?
It's a Tuesday.
Yeah, that means it'll be a nightmare for me to get home that day from work. North Circle will be absolutely fucking rammed. But pretty much. But we've got to win this game. We have to get 3 points on the board. And I don't think Red Star have this sheer level of quality that say Bayern Munich have, obviously. And I do think we can scrape through. I think there's no like, it's not as if we lost that first game against Inter, the way that they, because Inter was like, they were a Group 4 seed last year. Yeah. But we were just kind of unlucky that we played Inter when basically, what's his name, Mario Icardi was playing for them, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then obviously he went on strike, pretty much.
As is his want.
Well, yeah, but I'm not. Yeah, but it's a weird one though. I'm just saying that everyone's like, you're looking at loads of teams, loads of players just aren't performing. I mean, like, we obviously with even Isco, who we've been linked with for so many years, he can't get in the team either at Real Madrid.
Yeah. And surprisingly, he doesn't want to leave, which is kind of odd.
Well, do you know what I think? Do you know what I think we should do? I think because I think what we should do as a sign of good faith, because we had that partnership with Real Madrid, which obviously went very well for us, clearly.
Yeah.
I think what we should do is we should say, do you know what? I don't know if we can do it or not, because they've had to suspend their game. Was it Barcelona or Real Madrid? They've had to suspend their game.
Can't remember actually.
It's either one of the two. They said, like, they say, do you know what? We're not playing that weekend. Why don't you borrow our stadium? I am sure Pochettino, being the magnanimous guy he is, he'll say, look, have it as neutral ground. Actually, why don't you even pre-test it? I can imagine Daniel Levy loving that idea, thinking, you know what, the amount of money you'll make from that.
I'm sure.
Speaking of money, did you go to the NFL games? Were you tempted when you came? Last week we played Spurs ladies. Unfortunately, lost 3-0 to United.
I did, yeah.
But on your way back from, by the way, if anyone that says anything, Spurs do not. They may play in the Beehive, but that is nowhere near Underhill. It's a 20-minute drive from Underhill to Cannons Park. By the way,
that's really got you, hasn't it?
It's not. It's not even Barnet. It's not even in the London Borough of Barnet.
I'm pretty sure it's in the London Borough of Barnet. It might just
no, it's not. It's literally just across the border. Okay. And but they have redrawn the lines a few times over the years, but it isn't Barnet though. It's not. For me, if you're saying you're in Barnet, that means you're near Barnet Church, you're near High Barnet. Yeah, you're near Barnet Tube Station. Okay, and Edgware. And if you're saying you're near Edgware, well, guess what? Edgware is one branch of the Northern Line. High Barnet's on the other branch of the Northern Line. So there's a fair bit of gap between the two. All right.
True.
But my ranting about that aside, so one thing that is the thing that I really got passionate about. That was that actually, funny enough. But no, that my rant about that aside. No, I mean obviously were you? Because the thing is, they did feature it, and like they didn't actually do a lot of social media about that on the and they have talked about it a little bit, like that I was a magnificent stadium, but I think I don't think there's hatred towards the NFL, kind of thing. But I think the fact that obviously it does take a lot for us to accommodate the NFL and have all the planning and everything signed off. Feeling that the bandwidth wasn't really on developing the squad, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's more about developing the stadium, kind of thing. Yeah. And the fact that we tried to make it NFL ready meant that we weren't focusing on us as a stadium, on us as a club, as a sporting outfit, more as a commercial property, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Would you feel that that's a fair accusation?
I suppose one couldn't really start without the other, really. So I guess we had to build one side of it first, make sure that's proper and solid, and I guess that would be the infrastructure, wouldn't it? The stadium,
yeah, I'm saying the ability to flip from being an NFL like all-weather, artificial turf and everything, to a pitch stadium, it is unique. It is extremely unique. I think we're the only stadium that has that. I think so. I'm not too sure, but I'm saying, but that takes a lot of eyeballs on the project. It's as if basically there's a whole bunch of issues. I mean, obviously, this is nothing to do with what we were first talking about. That's kind of been subsumed by this one issue that's been dominating the agenda for the last 3 years.
That's what I mean. That you have to get one side done first. I guess that's what the stadium comes in, and then once the money, I suppose, I'm trying to look for the business side of it, and once that comes in and that's steady and that's all the money's coming through, then we can concentrate on the other side, and that's where pooling in all the money from the NFL and whatnot and whatever the stadium brings, we'll then put into the playing side.
I'm saying though, but obviously, because a lot of fans will say, look, because this is the thing, one of the things that we were very happy about, we've kept announcing all the time, was like the amount of new overseas sports clubs. Like we've got this, and we had. I mean, like if you look at say, like literally a lot of the pubs and bars and stuff in the northern US, they were literally saying like we had to have like 5 different pubs or something just to accommodate all the fans.
Yeah.
An accusation will be, so well, look, now we're not that successful. Where are those fans going to be now? So it's all well and good accommodating overseas fans. It's all well and good accommodating the NFL. But ultimately, and yes, the money from the NFL. I mean, like for me personally, I still don't want a franchise here. I don't think it's going to work. But how many is it? We have 2 international breaks every year, don't we? Every autumn. We have the one 2 weeks in the summer in September, and then 2 weeks in October or November. Generally, it varies sometimes, but
around that, yeah.
So basically, that at least allows for say 4, And obviously, there are times in which we won't even be at the stadium because we'll be away anyway, kind of thing. So I'm sure if we wanted to, we could even have 6 if we wanted to, easily. And I'm not against that. I'm not against. I would be because I actually live around there, and the traffic will be an absolute murder. But I do. I've got to think of my local town, but
of course.
But in terms of I mean, I'm saying, do you feel that the fact that Spurs didn't mention it, because obviously coming after the Brighton game and obviously and everything else, you feel that Spurs are a bit more sensitive talking about the NFL purely? If we were doing well, I think Spurs would happily talk about. Spurs would happily talk about. What do you call it?
You're right. There. It sounds like you're breaking down.
Yes. Sorry. I'm just trying to got distracted a little bit. Ironing. I'm so distracted. Oh shit! I've got to read behind this bit. Bollocks. No.
This is live, everyone. This is real live.
This is real life. Yeah, I have to do mining. But no, I'm saying Spurs have got kind of distracted, really, like I did with mining, about the whole NFL kind of thing. And the reason they didn't talk about that is if we were doing really well, let's say we're a 3rd or 4th in the league, we're doing well in the Champions League and everything else, then I don't think there'll be any issue with the NFL. But because they're not doing that well, and right now the people are looking at the chairman as like, oh, they're just counting the cash. They don't give a shit about how the team are doing as long as the money's coming in. So do you think that perspective? Do you think there is that accusation again? Is that accusation fair or?
I think the real beef is literally about communication, really, as you were alluding to there. But there are some things that a business, I guess, can't really divulge until everything is right,
Which they can, because that's stage one, we have Amazon Prime, and that's the other thing I wanted to ask about. What do you feel about Amazon Prime video, Amazon Prime documentary? What are your thoughts on that?
I think with the way that the season's going to go, it's probably going to be a bit of a disaster.
See, it's kind of like here's the thing for me. I never liked The Office. I never did. The Office, actually, it was obviously like most people in England, I work in an office kind of thing, you know. And although some offices can be more like the British office than others, you know, there are elements. And essentially, I never enjoyed watching it. 'Cause I'm thinking, well, I work in an office all day. Why would I go home and watch for an hour or however long it was a program about where I worked during the day? It just didn't make sense to me to do that. So here's the thing. I mean, like, I personally, I'm actually not enjoying Football Focus as much. Now, I don't like to think of myself as a fair weather fan, but I don't want Spurs to be winning everything. You know, I mean, like, just again, like, I still think, I don't really care about that. I just want us to make an effort. I just want us to try. I want us to have some feeling of like, you know what, we're contending. We may not win every single year, but at least we're trying. We're in that pack. Yeah. I have no problem with being kingmakers. I'd rather us be kings than kingmakers. But I would rather have us have some say in like, oh my God, oh, X is going to this team. Oh God, it's going to be a tough game. This could decide the league, you know, kind of thing, rather than it be a procession. Because it does. You know what I mean? There's a real. We had the 80s come back, and now we're having the 90s come back, which seems a bit weird. It was only 2019, so it's not that. It hasn't been too long ago. But it's like the 90s have come back, you know. Fans are. We are in mid-table. We're struggling to be. I remember one time. I don't know if you remember this. We were trying to get into Europe, and we were playing Middlesbrough, who were bottom of the league that year, and we lost 3-0 at home to Middlesbrough, who were bottom of the league.
I remember that.
Do you remember how embarrassing that was? It's like
I'm a Spurs fan. I remember all the embarrassments.
And it's like you couldn't make it up either. I mean, like Middlesbrough, who were doing so badly that year, somehow managed to come, and I think it was either before. I can't remember if Venables was fired that year or not. I can't remember now. I'm struggling to remember now. Hey, it was 92 actually. Yes, I think he might. Was he fired that year?
92. He was. Let's see. It was obviously
92. Was it 93? 92.
Yeah,
92 or 93.
Yeah, 92, 93 it was. He was fired to.
Yeah, it was the year Arsenal won the FA League and FA Cup double or something.
Something like that, yeah.
He was fired after that, that's what I remember, yeah. So it was just, you know, it's never really worked out well, you know, it's just, I don't know, I mean, I just don't want to be a joke anymore. I mean, you saw that, you know, that guy, I don't know what his name is, whoever it was, talking about, you know, he's talking about, like, he's like, chat or something, and blaffed or baffed or something. I have no idea what he's saying. Have you not seen anything else in the video? It's during the international break. Some guys, I don't want to say rapping because that makes me sound like a middle-aged cliche, but...
No, I can't quite think who you mean.
Oh, it's some adverts. I've just seen it somewhere, basically. It's not AJ Tracy, it's some other geezer or something, and it's like, yeah, I think I don't know, it's during one of those, like during that London games or something. So you can see like the thing on the stadium, you know. Yeah. And he's filmed there, and he's filmed outside outside the COYS, like Turkish restaurant, and outside the White Hart Lane jerk chicken place.
Okay.
On Cumberland Park.
Yeah.
I'm actually hungry. I'm actually thinking about some jerk chicken right now, actually. But no, it's just one of those things where you think, well, right? I mean, like, one of my friends, he runs a really good podcast. I'm going to give him a shout out. I'm shouting at my mates, really. I should be shouting us out, but I'm sorry, I'm shouting at my mates out.
Yeah, we're used to it.
Podcast. Nate, my mate Nate, check him out, and he'll be up in the Forsyth Spurs podcast. Him and his guys tomorrow evening, and it'll probably air on Tuesday morning our time. And it's a really good podcast. I've been on it. I almost ruined it, so which is why I'll never be on it again. So, no, it's one of those things that, you know what, I enjoy the podcast so much. I just asked, can I just watch it? All I asked was, can I just watch it? I don't actually want to be on it.
Yeah.
And I said, look, I don't want to ruin it. And now I'm on it, and I was like, no, if I ever go on it again, I'll say, can I watch it? But I don't want to be on it. I'll happily watch you guys do it. I just don't want to be on it myself.
No, fair enough.
I'm saying there's a lot of feeling that people are just getting really annoyed with the club. They're just thinking, well, is it because a lot of people are blaming the players? People are blaming the chairman. I mean, like, for me, I don't know how you feel, but I feel there's blood on. There's blood-stained fingers on all of them. It sounds like a crime thing, doesn't it?
That was a little overboard, but yeah, I know what you mean.
but all of them, not all of them can say that they, can come out clean out of this, can they? Even Soko was such a wonderful season last year. He's showing that, yes, he's great when he's driving us forward, like a bull in a china shop. His lack of technical ability, he's good in some games. He just wasn't good for this kind of game where we had to open Watford up.
Yeah, I suppose at least he was positive. I mean, that's probably the one thing I could take from yesterday's game, that Sissoko and maybe Winks was probably the only people until Sonny came on. Winks and Sissoko were the only ones actually trying to at least get us forward. It might not have worked out too well, but at least they were trying. And everybody else was just literally, it was the I have no idea. It was like watching crabs, just kind of like do that thing sideways, and then wait till the opposition.
So basically, we're trying to score the perfect like tiki-taka goal or something.
No, it wasn't even that. It was just kind of. I know this is not what happened, but this is how it kind of felt like it was happening. We just passed it sideways, backwards until Watford got all 11 men behind the ball. Then we tried to go forward, and when we couldn't find any space, they kept passing it sideways again. And then it made it so obvious we trying to go down to the flanks, and then that was blocked off. So we just kept passing it sideways again until we got down to the other flank, and that was blocked off. And then we thought, oh, okay, so both sides are blocked off. Oh no, let's try and pass it sideways again to the other flank, and oh my god, that's blocked off again as well. There was literally no intelligence at all in our play. And that's the bit that's kind of get on my nerves right now. It's like there is no before, and then this is just going back 18 months, maybe just literally 18 months ago. Before we faced something like that, the forward line would move until they just continued disoriented the defence. They just kept moving, finding little pockets of space somewhere. We pass into them. They then break those lines, and we find ourselves in the middle of their defence and midfield. And then that's where
that midfield sort of desk.
Yeah, and then we're able to get like runners off those players with one of the ones in the don't speak now. I'm annoyed. And we used to get runners off the player who had the ball, and then that's where we used to score the goals and stuff like that. And we used to just break their lines by movements. Yesterday, and it's been endemic now for the last 18 months, where the players, either a defender or a winger has the ball, we pass it sideways and whatnot. No movement at all from any of our forward players. Even Kane was just like static and watching.
So do you think he's not moving because he thinks he's not going to get a pass?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, he's now having to drop into midfield now to just try and get the ball and try and get something moving. But even then, he was kind of like slow doing that. It was just poor to watch, and so everyone will complain about the ball going sideways and whatnot and screaming forward, pass it forward. But then when there's no one to pass it forward to, there is no option but to pass it sideways. And
I'm hoping basically someone like, if we can go back to even that 4-2-3-1, I think a lot of pressure can be put on the sales side. I think, unfortunately, which is not fair to him. But I do think we are going to have to go back to a 4-2-3-1 kind of thing, and in some respects, just basically look to. I think we do need to go back to that. I think
At least
maybe.
if Celso is there, I would say at least if he's there, he'll literally move forward or move backwards to try to create that space in between the lines.
He can because he can move the ball
Something
forward
like
quite
Eriksen
quickly.
used to do, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's got the. Because I think it's kind of like unfortunate. I mean, obviously, why on earth we let him go to that friendly? I have no idea. Might have been needed to let him go, but I can't imagine Pochettino ever saying no to Argentina. I'm sure he'd say no to Lucas going for Brazil, you know. But I do think that because I don't want a lot of pressure on Celso because he would end up being. I think him or Ndombele will end up being our record signings. I think one of them certainly just because I don't know. Obviously, it's a loan. Air quote. It's an air quote loan. It'll end up being a permanent transfer, basically. But even like say Ceballos, he hasn't really put up any. Would you say he's put up any treats for Arsenal? I mean, we were linked to both Ceballos and whatchamacallit, and Lo Celso, and another Danny Olmo, another lad we were linked with. But they're not. They haven't really put up treats, have they? I mean, I was watching. If you look at Ceballos, I know Arsenal are fourth or fifth, which is annoying, but it's not that they're playing brilliantly, are they? You know. But they are getting results, though. They are getting results. They're grinding results.
That's what I mean. They're scraping games, and that's what I want to see Spurs do, but we can't even do that. But in terms of Ceballos, I mean, he had his first 3 or 4 games where he was on the lips of everybody, although he was coming off from the bench most of the time. But since then, I haven't really heard too much about him. I mean, I don't watch Arsenal that much, but from my Arsenal supporting friends and colleagues at work, they have not mentioned his name since probably the derby. And
the funny thing is, I asked one of the guys I used to work with at the museum. He actually was like a Real Madrid fan. He was absolutely apoplectic that they were going to sell him because he looked at Ceballos as being replaced for Modric. You know, as in like he would trap back and all that kind of stuff. You know, he put his foot in. You know, I think with Celso we've got a similar kind of player. I'm hoping that the Celso is one of those weird strange players that he can either be an 8 or a 10. Again, I just think that getting him back, getting him fit, getting Sessegnon fit, I think that could be like a shot in the arm kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
Do you know when you have like a player, because do you know when we had our players like Ryan Mason, Ryan Mason wasn't exactly a brilliant player for us, you know, he scored some important goals, but I think the fact that he was there, he was showing that attitude, and I think that attitude is infectious kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, pretty much.
And I think, you know, that kind of like wanting that desire, you know? And I think, I'm not saying the players haven't got that desire, but they've already been, you know, a lot of these players have been as close as they can. I don't think, I mean, for me personally, when Eriksen wasn't playing, was he on the bench? I don't remember. Was Eriksen on the bench yesterday?
That's the thing. I don't actually remember either because I assume he wasn't because he didn't even come on at all. But
the fact that he's not on the bench, I think there clearly is, there seems to be like a feeling that, you know what, some players are being slowly excluded out of the club. You know, I think the fact that Lo Celso, because that's a shame really, because Eriksen, it's a weird thing, because Eriksen has done very well. I mean, even under Deadwood, he did well as well. So you got him his credit, but under Pochettino, he's really came on leaps and bounds.
Yes, yep.
But ultimately, you know, how much of it was down to the player, how much of it was down to the manager, you know? Yeah, they just want to say failures and orphans. Because there's so many fathers, failures is always perennially an orphan. I look at that team, I just think, you know, I mean, Eriksen was on. I mean, you looked at Eriksen at Dele Alli yesterday. He was trying to play the Eriksen role, kind of like, you know, kind of Dembele, kind of Eriksen, you know, little neat tricks. Cause I definitely do think though. I mean, I think if we can get the best out of him, because he hasn't been on form for ages. Was it not since the World? Not since the World Cup, really. Is he? You know, who was the other player that? Oh God, who was at Palace? I forgot his name now. Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Everyone was talking about him at Palace.
Chelsea player.
The Chelsea player, but he's not.
Oh no, he's not Chelsea. He's Liverpool now. Isn't he? Oh, I can't remember. Well, I'm confusing him with somebody else. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but I'm saying he was a player that was very hyped up, and they were saying like, oh, you know, if he'd been playing, you know, they even said like, you know what, if he'd been playing under, say, not Mourinho, if he'd been playing under Pochettino, not Mourinho, he'd be where Dele Alli is now, kind of thing, you know.
I guess, yeah.
And I just look at that and I just think, well, Loftus-Cheek. I mean, when was the last time we even heard his name being mentioned? You know, Frank Lampard playing all the kids. I don't think Loftus-Cheek is even mentioned. What, is he injured or something? Maybe he's injured. Maybe he could be injured actually.
Yeah, it's probably more likely.
But I just think that there's a lot of players that just aren't. Cause I think I don't know. It's like the yips or something. You just have that. I don't know. They're just not playing to their ability. They just not. I mean, Harry Kane. Obviously, Harry Kane had that great game against Bulgaria. Do we talk about actually speaking about Bulgaria? Do we even mention Haringey Borough? Should we even talk about that?
Yeah, I was reading about that yesterday. I was like, really. I mean,
I was going to go. Haringey Borough just around the corner from me.
Yeah.
I was yesterday, but the bill.
I was actually in iron whether to go to either the Spurs game or the Haringey game, but
yeah. It was weird though. Well, one game just basically one team didn't turn up. The other team, like, we're going to stay in the dressing room. You know, normally that's an accusation. A team didn't come out of the dressing room. This team actually would have come out of the dressing room.
Yeah.
I'm not belittling what happened, but it's kind of bad. That I mean, it's weird in this day and age. I can understand. I mean, I don't know what Yeovil's like. I've never been to the south.
Yeovil are a mixture of weird fans. I mean, I remember reading something about.
Where even is Yeovil? Is it in Cornwall or something? Somerset. So are there no black or ethnic people in Somerset? I don't know.
You'd be hard pushed to find a minority in Somerset. I guess they kind of stay in and around.
You'd be hard placed to find a minority in bloody Maidstone as well. But you know what I mean. I don't think Maidstone United are going to be particularly ethnically.
No, but I mean, it'd be hard pushed to find any kind of like minority in that. It's like they just stop in Bristol and then go west at all. It's kind of odd, but I know that Yeovil have a couple of black players in their ranks of Nigerian heritage from their names, but overall their fans are not really that.
Didn't like Shayab Harrison or maybe didn't Andros Townsend go to Yeovil or something?
He did, yeah.
So I don't know. It's just things that's strange because you don't really think of it as. It's not as if you're thinking, oh my god, that place is a bit dodgy or something. Yeovil, I don't think anything of it, but it's just in terms of what they did yesterday. I mean, apparently, I don't know if you heard, but literally, Yeovil Town refused to leave, and they're about to call the police saying, by the way, Yeovil Town are now trespassing.
Well, you mean the players or the fans?
The players, the actual Yeovil Town squad, the players refused to come on. The match was abandoned.
Yeah.
And the actual Yeovil Town players.
Yeah.
Actually said I think I can't know, but apparently they were about to call the police or something to get them to be like a victim. They actually thought to remove them. They were about to call the police kind of thing. You know?
Oh, I see. No, I hadn't heard that one. I did. All I remember.
I don't know. I don't know actually the thing is, I know they went into the dressing room and they refused to come out, kind of thing.
Haringey did, yeah.
And that was it. And then basically the match they refused to come out. And they eventually got to say, well, they said, look, you guys have to leave. You refused to move, and they're apparently going to call the police on them.
Oh, okay. I hadn't heard that one. I do know that basically, let's see, that during the game, Haringey Yeovil, the goalkeeper was.
Sorry, Chris, we lost reception. For some bizarre reason, we lost reception for like all of 2 seconds. So apologies.
Oh no,
Hello.
Yep, still here.
Sorry. So yeah. But it's a strange thing. I mean, we are living in.
Still there.
Hello?
I think you need to start walking around, mate.
I'm still walking around. I do walk around, anyway.
But yeah, I mean, I'm living.
You're going to be meeting some of the Red Star Belgrade fans on Wednesday, so maybe you should ask them. By the way, if I go to Belgrade, will I have any problems?
But yeah, I think I'm just having a look at it now.
Are they even allowed fans in their stadium, Red Star Belgrade? Are they playing behind closed doors or?
They won't be playing in. Well, yeah, they won't be allowed to play in their stadium, and it's not behind closed doors because obviously we're getting tickets for it. I know that the Red Star fans they won't be allowed into our stadium because they're banned from travelling.
Oh, so you can't actually ask them what reception will I get there?
Probably not, no, but I kind of imagine, and really looking forward to that one. But yeah, I mean, everyone knows that the issue in Eastern Europe is.
So I was going to say, if you're a fan, obviously, because people may not know this, like me or Crisandro, we actually are both of ethnic heritage. If you've seen, so say your team is 2-0 up or something, okay? And one of your fans racially abuses the opposition team, okay? Now, have you ever been in a position where you've had to report it? Because I actually tried to report racist song about Sonny by our own fans, and the club did nothing.
Yeah, I think. So, I actually reported something in the old stadium. It was during the Spurs.
So I'm just saying that if that happens, I mean, in terms of, we've actually seen players literally say, like, did you hear that? They obviously clearly heard it, and took the players off the pitch. If we were Yeovil fans, apparently it wasn't all Yeovil fans, it was just a minority of them, but it was enough to make them want to, they not playing the game.
Majority or a minority. If even one person's doing it, it has to be reported. And,
no, I'm saying if the game was abandoned, though, in terms of...
If the game was abandoned because of that, then that's fair enough.
I'm saying in terms of policing it, like self-policing, like fans have to police it themselves. What would you... in terms of, obviously, my experience, I reported it to the club. The club did jack shit about it. I was told next time I report it to a steward. And I'm thinking, well, I don't want to be seen as a grass fan of everyone. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I was going to say, what I was going to say was that I had an incident.
So Yeovil fans were a much smaller base kind of thing, smaller fan base. Do you have anything like it must be hard for them to basically turn in one of their own kind of thing? Compared to ours, because obviously for us we've got like say 45,000 in our stadium, our home fans. We're not going to have every single person, Yeovil is a much smaller place, so chances are you're more likely to know each other, especially if one of you turns on each other, kind of thing. Well, if you're even doing the right thing. So I'm just saying, what really option is there?
There is no other option. What I'll say is that I admire the Yeovil fans who did report it. Well, I don't actually know if it was a fan or whether it just picked up on a device and was reported by the stadium stewards themselves. But yeah, it was kind of picked up because what I was reading on Twitter and stuff like that, most of the Yeovil fans say they didn't hear anything. Only a couple actually have. Very few have actually kind of condemned it, but it's that's why I have the utmost respect for those who actually have said, okay, this is wrong, this is what happened. But a lot, from what I'm reading, a lot are saying we don't know what's happened. We have to wait for the full thing. So there's already a bit of denial coming that way. But what I was going to say beforehand is there was an incident when Spurs played Arsenal, I think in the old stadium, and there was a fan behind me who was kind of shouting a lot of stuff, and also praising our own black players as well, which is kind of odd. And I didn't report it, but I think it actually took like a few reports for any students to actually do anything, because it did take a little while, and I'm guessing that it was waiting for those reports to build up before they actually did anything. I
think there's a weird thing about tribalism, because I remember Muhammad Ali when he fought Sonny Liston. So I think we were the first or second time, and this is I won't say the N word he used, but he actually heard someone say some people in the boxing crowd saying, "Sonny Liston, not that and out."
Yeah.
And the irony was always lost on Americans anyway. But I just think there's something. I think it's, even if we self-police it and stuff like that, I think there's a cultural change we need to have. We need to change the fact that people that go to stadiums, they lose themselves, which is a good thing. You will lose. I've lost myself in a stadium. I will sing. But we have to, as a cultural thing, we need to. There's almost like a no consequences kind of thing. Go to the stadium and we'll just act in a way which we'd never act normally. Sometimes it could be because of in being out Veritas, we get a bit more courage, liquid courage in us, whatever. But I'm saying, in terms, I do think that you can have a stadium ban, you can have reporting, but ultimately you need to change the culture.
Yeah.
What is acceptable, and culture takes a while to change. And I think culture is something that takes time to change, and it can become very poisonous very quickly. But at the same time, it does, but that doesn't stop trying to change it. And I think, just to bring it back to Spurs, we had a very negative culture around us. We made changes, and it was very positive. Now there's a real poisonous culture. There's a lot of negativity, and we need to eradicate that and change it. But that won't happen overnight. Yeah. And it's just so important that culture. It's like yogurt, which because I don't talk about culture now. I'm actually eating yogurt, and I don't like the idea of bacteria. The idea of bacteria in my yogurt, right? Kind of put me off eating my yogurt. But the idea is that sometimes you need to throw it all out, because once that culture's in there, you just have to really throw it out, sterilize it, and then just start afresh. And I think that's something that I think both Yeovil and Spurs have to do. I think that's what we are doing in terms of that. We have moved on Ericsson. We're looking to move him on. And I think in terms of Yeovil, the fact that, for those who don't know, for those who are listening, Yeovil to Haringey Borough playing White Hart Lane, which is actually in Tottenham itself. And it's actually it's kind of Tottenham / Wood Green kind of thing.
Area mostly, yeah.
But it's but that's the other White Hart Lane basically. There's two White Hart Lanes. That's the other one. And
but actually on White Hart Lane, that's the difference.
It's actually on White Hart Lane Road itself. But I'm saying that it's a good 4-hour journey. Do you know what I mean? I can imagine, like, just as in coaches, it would be a good 4-hour coach ride from Yeovil to Haringey Borough.
Yeah.
And I just think on the drive back, I don't know if there was any introspection, but I'm hoping that people will look at each other and say, look, come all the way here, and they've got to go all the way back now. We've not even had to have a game. Chances are we'll have to come back here again, so that's another 4 hours. We've got 8 hours. I think that will probably hopefully shift the culture. I think, again, we need to see a cultural shift from that. And I think it's like anything. It's like with Spurs, a cultural shift has helped us get where we are. We've now gone back a stage, and I think that's because I think we took the eye off the ball, a lack of vigilance kind of thing. Because I've gotten some racial abuse at Spurs games. It's just something that's happened.
Yeah.
And it has actually put me off going to games going forward. But at the same time, you have to think, well, that's my experience. I think that's just a one-off thing. But just in terms of the culture, I don't think it will happen overnight. I mean, obviously, like we saw what happened in Bulgaria, people were fired, and I think that's what's going to happen. I think we have to see something dramatic.
Well, to the Bulgarian FA and step in the right direction. Sorry, carry on.
I think that's what I'm saying. You will see small steps, and the culture will take many years to change. And I think that's what we're going to think. So I'm just trying to tie it back to Spurs. I think that we have to take. I mean, like obviously we didn't lose against Watford, which is a positive. And now we have to try and get a win against Red Star Belgrade. Hopefully, try not to get massacred against Liverpool. And hopefully, we just have to up on those positive steps. And I think it will be a pain, but I think it's that constant vigilance. We have to constantly monitor, keep our eye on the ball, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, so we have had quite a wide-ranging discussion. Hopefully, I don't know. I am tempted to go to if they do reschedule the match, and it doesn't clash with a Spurs game. I might just try and go to Haringey Borough just to show my support. I don't know if there's something. Obviously, if you catch a Spurs game, Spurs won't encourage it, but I just think that's something we should look to encourage. What do you feel?
Um, yeah, no, I agree actually. I think I think definitely the Haringey players do need to be shown support of the footballing community for their stance against it, because it wasn't that long ago that the talk was you hear any racism in the crowd, basically the players should just get on with it, show stick their chests out and be and just and show the racist by playing on and scoring a couple of goals. That will show them. That will ram the rest of them back down their throats if we just beat them 3 or 4-0. All that's a load of hogwash and a load of bollocks, basically. And I'm
So
glad.
basically, are you basically saying when Cyril Regis was thrown a banana, he peeled it and ate it? That kind of thing.
That sounds a bit like what's his name, Danny Alves did, wasn't it? But
No, Cyril Regis apparently did it. I'm too young to remember this. You will remember this. I'm too young to remember this. But apparently, Cyril Regis, someone threw a banana at him, and he just peeled it and ate it. Apparently, I don't know how true that is or not.
I can't remember if that was true or not. But yeah, it does link back to what happened about 3 or 4 years ago.
The idea, just the idea that you're not going to have any power. I mean, like, part of me thinks, like, you know what? If I decide not to go, this is at Wembley, and everyone hated Wembley, and that's the reason why. We're losing North London derby. I was then getting called out for apparently not being as supportive. Yeah, there's a bunch of other people who are very much lighter skinned than I was, saying a lot worse. They were all getting called out. Say about that what you will, kind of thing. I don't know why I was getting called out. I've never been called out at a match before or since, kind of thing. You know? But I'm just saying that just in terms of what we need to do going forward. I think something like going to Haringey Borough. I don't know. There's something I might mention on the supplement, saying, you know what, if the game is rescheduled, I'm actually thinking of going down just to show my support for Haringey Borough. I live around the corner anyway. It's not that hard for me to get down there. Hey, I think they deserve our support just because they did take a stand.
Yeah, exactly. Completely agree. So
Chris, where can people find you on Twitter? Is it Man Like Chris?
It's man_like_Chris and
or CRISANDRO _.
Yep. It's much better to find me that way. At CRISANDRO_. That'll take you straight through to my Twitter, and I chat about a wide range of things about football, as mostly the thing I talk about. So look forward to hearing a good exchange of views on Spurs. And
I'm actually going to tweet out. I might actually go to Haringey Borough just to show my support, because I think the only way we can say not let racists win is if we actually say, do you know what? If we say we're going to show support to Haringey Borough, they took a very brave stand, and we need to support. That's the way we show support. So anyway, I've been Shubes, he's been Crisandro, and well, thank you for listening to this episode of Rantz.
How can they find you, by the way?
They actually can find me. I'm at the Real Shubes, and apparently I've got some followers for some bizarre reason. I don't know, because I get this thing called tweet maps. Apparently someone signed me up to this thing. I can see who's unfollowed me, who's followed me, and I'm like,
there you go.
Yeah, I know.
So you can keep track of your followers. That's cool. Not at all creepy.
Not at all creepy at all. And that's a bit weird. But yeah, so yeah, people can find me at the Real Shubes and tweet at me. I won't be able to go to the Spurs game because it just takes me a nightmare to get home on the Tuesday. It will take me ages to get home, so I'll probably just barely be able to watch it on the bloody on the box. But I will be trying to go to Haringey Borough, and I would really highly recommend that any fans that do live local to White Hart Lane try and show some support to Haringey Borough.
There you go. And I completely agree. I'll be right behind. As you said, if the game does get,
he actually could be right behind me. He actually might be at the game, and he might actually be right behind me. Actually, that's weird. That's creepy. Could end up getting.
I'll be right behind you, just giving you a slow wave with a smile on my face.
Because Chris might be in the boxes. I mean, he might say support. So, do you know what? I might go for a box seat. Anyway, as always, Skipper, it's always good to chat to you. I'm going to be shooting off now, and as always, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. You'll take care, yeah?
I'll take care now.